Hello, and thank you so much for watching this video. This is our Healing Arts practitioner interview for October 2013, and we're hanging out in the Kula garden with Alyson Hawkins, who is both a yoga teacher here at Kula as well as a mental health counselor. And you can practice yoga with Alyson on Tuesdays at the beach at, well, I guess the time depends on the season, right?
Right now it's 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock on Tuesdays, and that's at Marcinski, right?
Correct.
And then you also are a mental health practitioner in the healing arts space, and I was hoping you could talk a little bit about both, and then in addition to those two things, Alyson also offers an ongoing women's support group, which is seasonal, so she does 4 per year, and we have another one that's about to start on, when is the next one?
Monday, October 28th, there's going to be 2 options. One will be on Monday mornings from 9:30 to 11, and the other one's going to start on October 30th, which is going to be Wednesday evenings from 7 to 8:30.
Cool. So a lot of good stuff to get to, up to a lot. And maybe we could start with the mental health work that you do, and
Okay.
could you describe a little bit about what that is? And
Basically, my background is in mental health counseling. I have my master's in mental health counseling and 2 years post-supervision, and all of my experience is a variety of realms. I've worked in rehab centers, to drug facilities, to in-home family therapy, abuse shelters, and I do a lot of one-on-one counseling, some couples work. I work with children and family therapy.
Loud for a second, sorry.
Also love doing the women's support groups, which we just finished one support group, the summer series, which went very well. There was 8 women who followed each other through for 10 consecutive weeks, and it was
Cool.
a very, very powerful experience.
That's amazing. And can I ask, just like on a personal side, what draws you to do this work?
Well, I really believe when you learn to love who you are, life gets a lot easier.
Yeah.
And often people get caught up in cycles in today's world with all the external things going on, that they sort of come out of their heart and just go into cycles. So with the work I do, I really try to get people to know who they are and love who they are and reconnect with their hearts. So in order to do that, there's different processes that I go through with people. I work on an eclectic approach and a very cognitive behavioral approach, but also a lot of talk therapy. And I believe people's pasts really influence who they are today, and if you don't really take a look at that, you can kind of come out of your heart and get stuck in your ego. So I get people to go back and look at their negative behavior patterns that they've developed, and old habits. I just call them old habits because that's what they are, and habits can be broken. So we kind of really go deep within and look at that, and then there comes some awareness through that to help them reconnect. And also, the next step is like sort of letting go of expectations. A lot of people try to go, like I said, outside of themselves to really fix who they are and find out who they are, but really we have to let go of expectations and learn to love yourself and realize the only person you can control in life is yourself. And then also to nurture yourself. So there comes a lot of learning to spend time in nature, which is so healing, reconnecting with your heart to nature and all of the senses. We kind of walk through life forgetting about hearing and seeing and feeling and touching, and just really getting into your heart. So often people are, when you're stuck in your ego, which I call ego is like erasing God out, but when you do that, you're not really following your heart. So a lot of my work I do gets people to reconnect with that, and it can be very, very powerful.
It's amazing. So a couple of things come up for me as I hear you say that. One is what a great person to go through that process with would be you, because you exude those qualities, and everything you're talking about I feel like you embody. And a lot of times it's like we go to see somebody to help us, but it's like they're not in the very space that they're asking you to move into, and we're so, it's like we rub off on each other. So I would imagine just by being in your presence, being with you, you start to get that. I could just feel myself as you were talking about that, and to close my eyes, take a deep breath, hear the birds, feel the breeze, and reconnect as you're saying it. And then the other thing that was coming up is, in my mind I kept going, that's like yoga. That's like yoga. And so here you are, right, and you're a yoga teacher as well. And I guess I would just be curious to hear if how do you bring yoga into the counseling work, and how does yoga inform your counseling? How does counseling inform the way you teach yoga? And then you also touched a third element in there, which was nature.
Right.
And I know you like to work with people whenever possible outdoors, and of course your yoga class is on the beach. So I'm getting the pattern, I think.
Well, yeah, definitely. I'm a big believer that nature is one of the most healing elements we have. And it's free, and it's here every day. And so often people just are driving with blinders through life, but one of the easiest steps you can do to kind of de-stress and come back into your heart is really to just stop and take a few breaths and really sit in nature and look at the blue sky and look at the green trees and just hear the birds for a moment, and just suddenly there's just
drop
peace.
in.
Yeah. So it's very powerful to reconnect, and there's a lot of signs you can get through nature. So a lot of my sessions I do with people is with nature, at the beach, or I love Riverbend Park here locally. It's so powerful when you're in the middle of a session and then this animal appears. We were at the beach just a couple weeks ago, and baby turtles started hatching and coming out of their holes right in the middle of our session, and it was very in sync to what we were talking about. This person is really growing and kind of starting over in a new beginning in her life, and here these turtles start hatching.
Of course.
It was really powerful. So yeah, you never know the gifts you can receive through nature. So that's why I love doing beach yoga also, because the music is the nature when we're practicing and doing asana, and I do have a very holistic approach to everything that I do. I think spiritually, mentally, physically, you can't ignore one without touching the other, so it all encompasses itself.
Yeah, it just seems like so much of what you're saying at every level is about coming back to your natural self, be in your natural environment, let go of the old habits, because it's almost, think of the yoga process like, it's not that we're really cultivating anything as much as we're removing some of the conditioning that's covered over our innate peace, our innate wholeness. And so just kind of reconnecting to your natural self through the natural elements.
Right. And there's this misconception with a lot of people in life that there's people who are perfect, and no one is perfect at all. No one is. And to love yourself is one of the best gifts you can give yourself. There's a quote by Carl Jung that says, "Your vision will become clear only when you look in your heart. Who looks outside dreams, and who looks inside awakens." And I love that, and that's my goal with the counseling and the therapy that I do, is to get people to love exactly who they are. That's the best gift you can give yourself.
Thank you so much. That's beautiful. Thanks for taking the time today too.
Definitely. Thank you.
Yeah. Namaste.